Lesbian sister. So Laura came out to you how?
After being pushed a lot, I'd say, "Are you lesbian?" And I said, "You don't have to worry about it."
What do you mean push? She was shoving you?
She wouldn't, she wouldn't take a position. She wouldn't say yes or no.
She was
And
just Laura?
pardon,
She was just Laura?
she was just Laura, but she wasn't dating, at least so far as we knew. And I think it took her a lot longer to recognize her sexuality. And I understand that's not unusual with lesbians, that a lot of times they're later in recognizing it. I don't know. But she felt like it would be just too much of a blow to us to have two gay children. So it
Isn't that what you ordered?
no, it
Two
wasn't.
happy children?
It wasn't gay. It doesn't necessarily mean happy.
I've always thought that was funny how they use the word gay to describe gay people when, um, yeah, they're not.
There's a lot of unhappiness
There's a
there.
lot of unhappy gays, but a lot of happy ones.
Anyway, eventually she got up the courage to come out, and it wasn't the way it was when you came out because we had nothing. I I didn't expect it. I didn't expect that to happen. You'd always dated girls. I mean,
Well,
you
lesbians are not as much fun as gay men.
not as much fun. I don't know,
Okay, I'm just kidding.
um, but she dated a lot too when she was young. But I just by the time we had done a lot of studying of uh, gay and lesbian communities by then, so it wasn't such a shock, and it was easier to accept.
Was
I
it?
think
Do you think it was harder for mom to accept Laura and
yes,
harder for you to accept me?
I think that's a normal process, and from what I've talked to other people, that the same sex child is more difficult to accept their sexuality difference because we all have hopes and dreams, and we all have things that we would like our children to have and to be and to do. And I think we put more into our same sex children that we want to live our life again through them. And of course, you can't. Uh, we're not we're not alike. Our children are totally different than we are. And in our case, it's just a little bit more.
Yeah, and I'm thinking about that as you say it. I've never really thought of it this way because I just have always assumed that, it's more difficult for parents of gays to deal with their children not being what they anticipated. But I never really thought about the possibility of parents of heterosexuals going through the same thing with their children just not living.
Children are never what we anticipate they will be. I think it would be just amazing if a child grew up to be exactly what a parent wanted. Uh, you get preconceptions about everything. You're a jock, you want your kid to be a jock. You have a musical talent, you want your child to have a musical talent. Uh, all kinds of things, and they don't happen. It's just magic when it does, but it's just not common.
Do you find it offensive that I don't like science fiction novels?
Not at all.
Good.
So that's it.
That's it.
That's it.
Well, where are you now with it?
In perfect honesty, I think all of our lives would have been a lot simpler if y'all had been straight. However, that's not how it is, and we're doing great. We do great with it.
I think you do too. Um,
We sure ain't perfect.
None of us are, and I think that um, that our I guess our imperfections, our perfect imperfections, are are very obvious, and I think that that gives us an opportunity to accept and address them rather than having them come up as surprises. Even though I do have a tendency to surprise you guys every few years or so with new news, but
Well,
I think that the hard part's over.
it's just we would like for y'all to have partners that you love. That
What
that
kind of partner do you want me to have now?
I don't care. Male, female, Jewish, not Jewish, just somebody that you can have as a
Transgender?
partner. I don't know if I want to go that far.
All right. Well, there are always possibilities out there, and we will get through it if that is the case. I just, I just, I just want you to know that I will break it to you lightly, and it won't be at one of your parents' funerals.
I can't be. They're both gone.
Uh, yeah, and I did. I wanted to interview you today, and for those of you who, I mean, obviously you don't know because you weren't there. I tried to get my dad to do this interview before, and it was very difficult, I think, to get him to do it. I mean, we were out in public, so, and he's seen my video, so he didn't know what to expect. But I want you, I really do appreciate you doing this, and it's not just for me, it's for kids out there, and it's for your friends, and it's for people that can relate to you, because there, there's nothing out there like this. There's no like real talk between a kid and his parent um, about both sides. Um, there's, I when I came out, I didn't realize that my parents were gonna have to come out too, and um, because I was pretty self-absorbed, and I guess that it was my first time to
Yeah,
do it.
you were, and you did. I mean, you forced us to come out. Most people we knew didn't come out because they didn't need to. Their kids were silent about their sexuality, and that just wasn't your personality. You shouted it to the rooftops. You started writing articles in college newspapers, so it was there. And we didn't feel like there was anything to be ashamed of. That was not, never was an issue. Um, and again, Mom, whenever she has a chance, makes sure to let people know.
Yeah. Well, I'm like I said, I'm really fortunate. I'm very fortunate to have you guys, and the world is fortunate to have you guys um, because this is very unique. Um, it's unique to be on all over the internet telling people around the world that they're going to be okay. And
They will be okay. It may take a while. It isn't immediate for people, even if you think you're a bloody liberal in all things, it just isn't the same when it hits you in the face. And you can't expect, and children can't expect, their parents to immediately oh, well, that's great. It's not initially great. And
so
it
what?
takes a while to absorb it.
So what you're saying is it gets better?
It gets better, and I know it gets better for the kids too.